Everybody, welcome to the Insurance Journal's Academy of Insurance's weekly webinar Aftershow. I'm your host, George, and joining me for the Aftershow is the instructor of today's class. Today's class was Certificates of Insurance. We need more. I'm guessing that's how you intended to be, like, we need more. I don't know how you know. And the instructor is Mr. Michael DeFelice. And am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Wonderful. Michael, thank you, and welcome to the Aftershow. It's great to have you here.
Great to be here, George.
Fantastic. Well, I had a quick question. When I was doing your intro, so I've interviewed many insurance professionals over the years, and most people don't have like a linear path to get to insurance, I find. And one thing on your bio I found interesting was that you were a health insurance coordinator for dialysis companies after starting your career as a health, life, and disability broker.
Yep.
Did you have was it just a smart career move for you, or did you have any kind of emotional stake in the dialysis thing? Because I've got a relative that just had a double organ transplant and now is recovering but needs dialysis for whatever. And that would, partially inspire me to do something like that. I mean, that would be something. Was there any kind of anybody you were doing this for, or was it just like the next logical progression for you in your career?
It was kind of the next logical progression of my career. I'll be honest with you, there wasn't anything that inspired me to become a worker in the dialysis field. I was a teacher when I first got out of college, and I taught English journalism and writing. That was my specialty, writing. Then the programs I was teaching lost money from the New York City government and federal funding, and I decided to try my hand in brokering because it somehow appealed to me. And after 5 years, I've become fed up with being a broker. And I decided to go back to the corporate world. And frankly, I just went on Indeed and looked for insurance-related jobs. And I found a job within these dialysis companies I worked for the last 12 years, where they would be an insurance type of counselor or advocate. As a teacher, I was an advocate, and I was a teacher, of course, an educator for students, mostly at-risk students. So that's what appealed to me, but I was just looking for a job, to be honest with you. When I got there, though, it impacted me. I saw things that a lot of people don't see, but I found satisfaction of helping people and saving lives. What got me to move forward, what got me into this position I have now within the construction industry, is April of 23, I got a random email from a recruiter saying they needed an insurance coordinator, risk management professional for a general contractor. At first, I thought it was a scam because of all these, job offers, and it could be true. But because of the new commute and the increase in salary and the similarity of the job, I decided to give that a go. That was because of my family. I wanted to give my wife and family a better life. The money I was receiving in dialysis was okay. It was a good job, but the commute was really bad. I was traveling all over New Jersey, going to clinics all over that state rather. And it was causing me some stress, and I was getting home late. With this new job, a 20-minute bus ride, increases salary, and I don't have to worry too much about money anymore, and I can save for a house. So it's a better environment for me.
Excellent. Well, that's great. That's great to hear. I appreciate you giving us all that backstory. That's fantastic. So I know that lots of people ask for classes and certificates of insurance. So We Need More can also be a title that was created by our membership. Why? So can you tell me does we need more mean we need more information on the certificate of insurance? We need more certificates of insurance. We need, what does the we need more mean in the title of the course, please?
We need more information. We need the policies actually besides the COIs. There's a big trend right now in myth when companies, agencies like NYSHR or other city agencies or general contractors, they believe certificates of insurance are enough to determine the insurance coverage and proper identification for their subcontractors. I'm not sure why that is. I think it comes from a lack of ignorance or the sustained myth Certificates of insurance are not enough to go over the terms and conditions of the actual insurance contract. And again, I'm not sure where this comes from, that certificates of insurance are enough out there. Maybe it's because of efficiency. They just want to get these guys approved. Oh, it's just, they have insurance, great. We trust them. I've learned not to trust people at face value. I need more information. I need to see what the coverage is, what the exclusions are, what the endorsements are, so we can make an informed decision. Even my own supervisor at the time, who's the president of the company when I first started, he believes certificates of insurance were enough to determine prompt identification. And after some debates and arguments with him, he is slowly coming around to say, wait a minute, Mike, I think you're right that we need policies, and that's reasonable to ask. I cannot tell you how many times potential subcontractors we are pre-qualifying also think CI is enough, because that's what they've been trained to do, and are not asked the policies and fight with me sometimes to provide these policies. They don't understand why, and I try to explain to them. And I think this class would provide that insight to people. So why are you asking for policies? And it might be better to ask for the policies when you're trying to get a subcontractor to properly identify you.
What is contained on the policy that isn't contained on a certificate of insurance? And just curious, like, why is not a certificate of insurance enough? I mean, is it a permit that says we have insurance, but you need more details of the policy only the policy can provide?
Certificate of insurance is what's called evidence of coverage, right? So you have your carriers, you have the term of coverage when it expires, you have the carriers, and you have some basics on there. Most of the time, a lot of brokers, in order to get these subcontractors their clients' jobs or pass through the pre-qualification, they will not put any of the bad stuff on there. You can download a template online. You can write anything you really wish on there. I can do it myself. Okay. It doesn't really give you a intimate picture of what's actually contained in the 100-page general liability, excess, auto, workers' comp document that you have. I cannot tell you again how many times the COIs may say one thing and it's basic superficial information, as opposed to the policy where they may give you exclusions for the state, the scope you're working on, the classifications, the endorsements, the wording on these endorsements, the exclusions that may exclude the scope of work you're working on, the state you're working on, anything you can imagine. That might give us a clue as to how the coverage is there. There was one case, for example, where we had a consultant who wanted to dip their toe into trade. They didn't get the proper insurance. The COI showed the insurance they had. I think it was, I forget the carrier at the time, and I think it was maybe Hartford. And it showed on there, yes, they have blanket additional insured coverage. They have blanket waiver of subrogation coverage that favors additional insured. They had all these other things that look great. And on that COI says, oh, wait, yes, they do match our insurance requirements. But then you go into COI, they're classified as a consultant. They want to do carpentry. There is a classification limitation that said they can only do what they're classified as. They're classified as a consultant. So guess what? They can't do carpentry work. And there's plenty of examples of that. I can sit here and tell stories about how policies will exclude various things that we don't allow or don't properly identify us, or it gives us holes in our additional insured coverage. But yet on the COI, will not say those things.
Got it. And previously, Michael, you had done a class for us, Mitigating Risk in the Subcontractual Relationship Through Insurance. Are you getting to know more and more about subcontractual relationship, and how important is it for you to make sure that we all know everything we need to know about that relationship in order for business to flow evenly and progressively? And when you don't know about that relationship, what can happen? Super bad stuff, or just asking them, well, we need more information from you?
There's a risk when you hire a subcontractor. In the old days, especially in my boss's era, 30, 40 years ago. You can just sit down with a contract. Yeah, so why don't you drill a hole for me or do this or that, right? And it was a backhanded deal. Now there's so much risk, so much litigiousness when it comes into doing construction work, right? You have people who will sue you at a drop of a hat. You have people who have injuries, and it's very, very common, right? So you need that contract, you need insurance, and each insurance that you make a requirement of has a purpose, covering those liabilities, right? Those bodily injury and property damage liabilities, pollution liability, covering any kind of lawsuits when it comes to exposure to hazardous materials, whether it be a third party or an employee. What about auto? Any incidents when it comes to auto, bodily injury or property damage lawsuits when it comes to that. Workers' comp. Do they have workers' comp? That is required by New York State, and are the workers covered? And they're all W-2 that are covered by 1099. In that presentation, I made sure to let people know is that maybe you should construct your insurance requirements around what you want to see that will cover you the best in terms of any occurrences, third party or employee lawsuit, auto occurrence, worker injury, or anything else that you need to make sure you're covered for because of your subcontractor operations. Also, too, a lot of people will hire the subcontractor without looking at the insurance. That's why the COIs for his policy is very important. Oh, they have insurance, that's enough. No, it's not enough. It's making sure that the insurance they have covers you as additional insured, that you're not subrogated against, and third parties, if they come across to you with the bodily injury or property damage lawsuits, that you're covered against that, and you don't suffer a financial loss that's significant. You're not left holding the bag right there. I can't tell you how many, just an example over here in this company, between you and I, how many times a lot of project managers say, oh, they're just on site for 1 day. Oh, they're just on site for 2 hours. What are they doing? They're core drilling for 2 hours. Okay, well, what if something happens? What if sediment or some kind of drill goes to somebody's foot and they decide to sue? Right? The contract is $2,000, but worth the lawsuit's $1 million. So it matters.
Absolutely. Well, Michael, it was a great class. Thank you so much for all the information and expertise you helped us with.
Sure.
I did have one more quick question. I was curious. You brought up you taught journalism, correct?
Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So, do you ever get the itch to write about the about this topic, subcontractual relationships or get insurance? Like, is there a book in the offing at some point? Do you ever get the urge to write articles about it, or do you currently contribute to anything and haven't publicized it much? Or
yeah, I've been flirting with an idea. I would like to do that. I would like to maybe collaborate with other risk management professionals on that. I've been in the risk management game now for 3 years. Maybe if I collaborate with somebody, I want to make sure I have enough clout to get this published. But it's a good idea. I would like to at some point.
You heard it first here, Aftershow fans. This might happen. We might get something in writing from Michael DeFelice. That's fantastic. Good. Well, let us know. We know a guy, so
Great. I'll take you up on that.
All right. Well, the class again was certificates of insurance. We need more, and turns out we need more information. We don't need more certificates of insurance, or we need better certificates of insurance. So, but it's definitely an information-packed class. I want to thank our guest and instructor, Michael DeFelice, for coming to the After Show today. Michael, thanks so much for everything. And doesn't look like we have you again this year for Academy. So definitely keep in touch. We would love to have you back for a class. So thank you.
Will do. Thank you, George.
Absolutely. On behalf of Michael, this is George, your host, saying everybody take care of yourselves. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Take care.